I am Ishita and I completed my engineering from VIT in 2021. After that, work. I am working in a bank as an analyst. And this year, I decided to give CAT. This was my first attempt. So I started my CAT journey around July in 2022. I started off with a coaching center, and by September, I kind of felt a bit lost. I was not sure where I stood in the crowd and what else I could do to improve my performance from that stage. And even after analyzing the mocks I was giving, I was not able to figure out what were, the big gaps or even what were the strengths on which I should play on. And most importantly, I did not even have a test strategy in place at that point. And I was not aware that you even need a strategy to attempt the paper. So I finally decided to, find a mentor who could guide me through the rest of the journey. So I went on the internet and I found Madhu sir, and thankfully he took me in because it was, we barely had 2 months left for the paper. So from the first mentoring session itself, sir helped me identify the gaps that needed immediate attention and also on the approaches on how to fill gap. Like we identified that verbal, especially short verbal, was somewhere a lot of fundamental itself were not correct. So helped me, the approach as well as the resources, that would help me work on it. Uh, so he also guided me through, which mocks I should give. And we would have weekly sessions in which we would discuss these mocks and we would identify what went right and what went wrong. And I also got to, evaluate the progress that I was making. Uh, Also, in each session, uh, we had a weekly study plan or schedule customized for me based on the hours I could put in that week, and also based on the strengths and weaknesses at that point of preparation. Uh, this schedule not only gave, direction to the preparation, but also kind of made me a bit more disciplined. When you have the plan laid out, it's just easier to follow it. And so once we had, covered the issues that I had with the syllabus, we focused on strategy for each of the sections. Again, based on the mocks, we would discuss weekly, which strategy is working for me or which is not, or, what changes can we make in these strategies to maximize my scores. And along with the strategy, uh, especially in the last month, Madhu sir focused on the mindset that one should have, for each of the section or, giving the exam in general so that, the performance was not impacted on the day of the exam because of any pressure or anxiety. And, that definitely helped me keep calm because when I saw the paper, it was definitely on the tougher end. But, I kept calm. I followed the strategy that, we both had finalized. And I found myself, that I performed as per or even a bit better than my expectation on the CAT day. Also, one of the most important things for me was that I always had a lot of doubts that were very specific to me. Like, I gave this paper, should I have attempted this first or that first? And all these answers you cannot get on the internet. And, Sir was someone with who had a lot of experience, not only of the exam, but he also knew like my strengths, my weaknesses, and he was able to answer each of the questions. Like he would take his time, make sure, I had no doubt left at the end. And, that also really helped me through the preparation. So all this, I definitely got, whatever I was looking for when I decided that I wanted a mentor. And sir was definitely able to, bring out my fullest potential.